Whakatauha ko rangi nui e tui honei whakatauha ko papatua nuku e takoto nei. Mauri ora kia tātou katoa e te ui. Nau mai e rarau, hara mai ki tēnei wānanga, tēnei hui ngā e ki ko whanake ringa puoro, proudly presented by the team at CubaDupa, Creative Capital Arts Trust with support from New Zealand Music Commission, me te Māngai Pāho. It's all about supporting musicians, artists out there in the journey of composing in te reo Māori. Of course, we caught up with the beautiful Nāria Marsh from te Māngai Pāho, and now we get a different perspective from an artist that has successfully been funded by te Māngai Pāho. And I'd like to welcome our prata, Louis Baker. Louis, tēnā koe, hei tīmatatanga, kōrero mai, ko wai nohia.
Tēnā tātou, e te tangata whenua, te Āti Awa, e te whare e tūnei, e aku rangatira, anei te tama no Ngāpuhi, no ngā ruahine, e mihi atu nei, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora, bro.
Yeah, kia ora, Louis, thanks for your time. And, you know, we've been talking about Māori music, and it's been a bit of a journey for you, you know, as a whakapapa Māori, a tangata whakapapa Māori, but still on your real Māori journey. Just want to mihi to you for your mihi. But, you know, talk about the process of yourself composing in te reo Māori.
Oh, it's been a super special journey, chapter, whatever you want to call it. It's been probably over the last sort of 3 or so years. Initially, I had a feeling with the song of mine called The People that was written in English. I was like, man, I just want this chorus to be in te reo Māori. And I reached out to Rob Ruha, and he translated it for me and sung it for me so that I, you know, had the right kupu and pronunciation, everything like that. And it was just a beautiful sort of start to the journey of putting reo Māori into, you know, my own waiata. And I've loved every moment of it. Yeah. And then onwards from there, I've released 2 other tunes with reo Māori in it. Te utu o te aroha and kapa.
And I want to talk about the process as an artist applying for funding via te Māngai Pāho. How was that for you?
Yeah, really straightforward, really good. I think te Māngai Pāho offer really good sort of structure and support networks for you to talk to call on, to email, to get in touch with. I have a manager, so she is the one that goes out and gets that funding. And yeah, in my team we have lots of different people doing different things, booking agents and you know, band members. And so for me, I just stick to the waiata, stick to the music, and yeah, it's been a really awesome process working with TMP, and yeah, it's been super supportive in the waiata that we've put out.
Talking about the translations of your waiata Pākehā, you know, a lot of artists and bands out there try and keep the same rangi for the English song in the reo Māori song. Was that the case for you? You know, the sort of same flow as your English waiata in te reo Māori?
Yeah, I guess like the flow in terms of the melodic or the structural sort of, you know, whether it's a pre-chorus or a verse or a chorus or a bridge or something like that, I kind of keep that in the same flavours of what I usually would create, except with te reo Māori. And it's such a beautiful language, and it's such a poetic miharo language, and yeah, I wouldn't have been able to write these songs, te utu o te aroha and kapa without you know, some real guidance from some amazing people. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, I feel like my flavour and my style remains the same, but just taps into something a little bit deeper, which is te reo Māori. It feels special, yeah.
let's talk about kapa kapa and the process of writing that. It was a different method of doing that, obviously via the song hubs. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, the song was written in Waimarama for the first Te Reo song hubs that APRA puts on, and it was really guided by Sir Timoti Karetu and Dame Hiniwihi Mohi, along with the curation from Joel Little, and then our rōpū was a bunch of really amazing artists, and we had our Te Reo advisors. So I was lucky enough to work with Te Kuru Jews, and we wrote Kapa Kapa together, and that was also with Rory Noble and Kings. And then we had Hana Meriraiha, myself, Sick Drums, and Ruben Fleetwood. We wrote Te Utu o Te Aroha on one of the other days. So yeah, there were songs coming out from all of us every day. Every day you're in with a new producer, new bunch of writers, and it's cool. I've done quite a few sort of writing weeks, writing sessions, writing, they call them writing camps, and they happen all over the world. But this one's very special in that it's Te Reo Māori that that's the kaupapa,
Nāri, you mentioned Waiata Anthems earlier and the success of it. Isn't it just great to see big acts such as yourself and the 660s? Kora just released a new Waiata, the translation real Māori version of Politician. But what a great platform it is, Waiata Anthems. I think Te Utu was featured on Waiata Anthems. How was that for you?
Super special, man. Putting out a song in a language that I'd never written a song in before, let alone it being on Waiata Anthems, was an honour, and any kind of support or help to preserve our Indigenous language is good, and I'm keen to support that and tautoko that, yeah.
Focusing on your song Te Utu, what's the Waiata about?
Yeah, Te Utu o Te Aroha, the price of love. It was sort of the idea or the concept came about from Hana Meriraiha, and she was our reo advisor that day, guiding the session, guiding the kupu, and she mentioned that this line in a song that Sir Timoti Karetu had written was Te Utu o Te Aroha, and she just thought that was an awesome name for a song, and I loved that idea as well. And we were talking about writing a love song, and we were there at this 60s batch, overlooking Waimarama Beach, and it was a beautiful, clear, sunny day, and just the beach and the waves rolling in. It just was kind of picturesque, and we made this quite light, bright sort of love song, and I think that really comes through into the song, that environment and that sort of whakaaro, and that deep feeling that we all had when we sort of started the session of this is what we want to write about. Because I think at the start of a session, when you write a song, it's important to get that kind of clear destination point of where you're heading together, because it's very much so about togetherness. And once you're of that same, many in body, one in mind, then you can get there together, and it sort of means more, I think. But it was a real special day. The song itself speaks about the things you have to go through in order to know love, and I guess you can only really understand love through loss as well, and that sort of duality. So that's part of the song, and it was mean to work with all of those guys.
Just imagine a song hubs wānanga brewing up next week, and you're about to compose another real Māori Waiata. What would you write about right now, and also who would you collab with?
Good question, man. I've always loved seafood. Yeah, I feel like we'd make something pretty mean together. And yeah, I don't know what we'd write about. I guess you kind of get there on the day and you just feel it out, and one day you'll be feeling a little bit more political and, you know, sort of proud of the people, and then another day you might be feeling like, you know, where's my girlfriend at, or something like, you know, miss her. So yeah, it can be anything that you're feeling in that moment, but you want to capture that, you know.
And of course, Louis, you featured on the Te Matatini compilation, and you had the big task of challenging yourself to cover an infamous waiata composed by rangatira mai te ao kapahaka, I mean, te waka huia, legendary group that have won Te Matatini numerous times. How was that for you?
It was quite nerve-wracking and scary, to be honest, bro. Firstly, you know, acknowledgement and big mihi to Bub and Pimia Wihi and Te Waka Huia, and to Maisie Rika, and also to Rob Ruha, who asked me to do it and do the song and have that honour of singing on Wahine Purotu. Yeah, just to really kind of, I don't know, it's a big thing to take on, and you feel that sort of weight on your shoulders of responsibility or whatever it is to do it justice. But it was really awesome working with Maze, because she just has this delightful, angelic sort of energy about her, and everything she does is very calm, and you know, always lots of aroha in there. So, you know, I went back many times to try and nail the pronunciation, make sure the kupu was bang on, and we talked to Ruth Smith and, you know, sent it to Maze backwards and forwards for months and trying to get it right. So, you know, there was a few sweat and tears in there, but yeah, I hope that that I did it justice on my side. I think Maze absolutely killed it, but a real honour, definitely, to be a part of the Te Matatini 50 year.
And I suppose, you know, for the viewers out there that aren't strong in speaking te reo Māori, I mean, what message have you got for them to take on that challenge, that journey of composing in te reo Māori?
I guess just start with a little, you know. It takes one step and in one direction, and you kind of, you know, gradually get there. You know, for me, I'm nowhere near where I would like to be in terms of my, you know, te reo Māori and the way I speak it. But yeah, I encourage anyone who has an interest in te reo Māori to definitely start that journey, because it's a special one and it can change your life. And it's part of a deeper kind of tapestry, I think, especially for Aotearoa and, well, for any Indigenous peoples.
Louis Baker, tērā o ngā tama no ngā puhi ngō ngā ruahine, o tōku whanaunga no te tai hauauru, mihi ana kia koe, tēnā koe. And thanks for your time, Hoa. It's been wonderful to hear your journey of composing in te reo Māori, and hopefully you've inspired some others out there to compose in te reo Māori. So, whānau mā, please grab a hold of our reo rangatira. Check out the website tmp.govt.nz. Nā reira e te iwi, kua tai mai tēnei korokoro tui no ngā puhi no ngā ruahine ki te waiata, ki te maria. E te iwi anei rā a Louis Baker me tōna waiata te utu o te aroha.
Te utu o te aroha, what's the price of loving you? Ka hoki ngā mahara, ki ngā wā o mua. I want you to know you've been on my mind. E ahora I pēni I ai. Oh, te piringa, o te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe. O te piringa, o te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe. Te utu o te aroha. It's worth the hurt that we've been through. It's in the stars, it's in the moon. It's the thought of me and you. E rongo nei, e tangi nei. Ko te ngā kaumaru. I want you to know you're still on my mind. E ahara I pene I ai. O te piringa, o te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe. O te piringa, o te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe te piringa. O te manawa ko koe. Oh,